But what if we're given one side and one angle for a right triangle, and we want to find the second side? How do we do this? So if we have ourselves a right triangle, and we're given one side and one angle, and we want to try to find out what y is equal to, or what z is equal to, well, we're going to use trigonometry. To start learning about trigonometry, what we really need to do is be able to identify the different parts of the triangle. So notice here that all of these triangles are right triangles. So we're going to be working with this triangle at first and going on from there. But what I want to do is be able to just identify the different parts of the triangle. So let's look at this 60 degrees. That is what we're going to call the reference angle. And the whole reason why we're calling it the reference angle is because it's going to be the angle that we refer to in order to identify the different parts of the triangle. So we have our reference angle, and then we have the adjacent side. Do you know what the word adjacent means to? It means next to, being next to something. You might be sitting adjacent to one of your friends right now. And then there's the opposite side. So, well, first, the adjacent side is we have this 60-degree angle, and the side that's adjacent is going to be the side that's right next to it, this one right here. So this x is our adjacent side. It's next to this reference angle. And then there's the opposite side. And this is the side that's the farthest away from the reference angle. So the side that's farthest away is the one that's all the way over here. And this is our opposite side. And then the longest part of this triangle, what is that called? I'll give you a little hint. It starts with an H. And that's the hypotenuse. And that's the longest part of the triangle. Let's actually really specify the idea that it's the longest part of the right triangle. Okay, so this is our hypotenuse. Okay, so let's just go through these examples again. You know what? I actually like to identify the opposite side first, and then the adjacent, and then the hypotenuse. Well, I'm sure that you're used to identifying the hypotenuse of right triangles, so we could start there. Hey, you know what? So for this triangle over here, we have our z is our hypotenuse, and then which one is the opposite side? Once again, it's the opposite side is the one that's farthest away from the reference angle. So this is going to be our opposite side. And then the one that's actually right next to it is this one, is our x. Okay, and once again, if we're just going to be identifying the hypotenuse for this third example over here, we have the hypotenuse over here. And then which one is the opposite? Some students actually get a little tricked up with this because they start to say, oh, you know what? Y is always the opposite side. No, the opposite side is the side that's farthest away from the reference angle. We have our reference angle over here. The one that's farthest away is this one over here. So now our opposite side is the x. And the side that's actually adjacent, next to, or touching, we could say next to or touching the reference angle is our y. So now this is our adjacent side. For the fourth problem, we once again have our hypotenuse is z, or z, and the side that's actually the farthest away from the reference angle, the opposite side, is this one, which is all the way over here. And that's our opposite side. And the one that's actually touching it or next to it, that's our x, and that's our adjacent.